How's it hanging, YouTube? It's Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek, and welcome to What If? So, if you have not seen the show before, this is the show where we ask a number of YouTube creators to look at a well-known Marvel, DC, or indie property and reinvent it from scratch. So today, we're going to be looking at none other than the X-Men. And before we get into it, we need to gather our troops. So before we do that, I'll just get myself ready. And to me, my YouTubers.
What was my power?
Luke's power is the worst.
What do you mean, what was your power? Your power was basically whatever editing function I could find on my editor, which was to shrink your head. I thought you looked very Beetlejuice-esque.
It did.
Oh, my God. Like the guy from Men in Black.
Ben, have you got something in your eye, mate? What's going on there?
Which one?
The one in the middle.
Ah, sorry, I got it.
Why are you wearing a Star
Just an
Trek
eye
costume?
booger. Don't you say those words in my possession.
Welcome to the show. Very excited for this one. I think we're all fans of the X-Men, would we say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we were pointing at your hairline there, Ben. What was that?
No, it's nice to have a hairline, to be fair. No, I was showing off my Jim Lee swag.
Stunning. So, before we get into it, we'll do what we always do and just make sure we know a little bit about the X-Men. Now, I'm sure, like I said, you guys will know this in and out. Sorry, before we get into that, just introduce yourselves. James, do you just want to tell the people who you are?
Well, I don't think I really need an introduction for this show.
There we
as
go.
the two-time champion, I'm going for my hat trick today. So it's the crown, as you can tell.
So if you win this one, this will be your hat trick, won't it? This will be your third show in a row.
It would be, yeah. So I'll be pretty proud of that. But so I'm James T. Keegan. I do PlayStation videos, reviews, all that jazz, and I guest on comic book channels, which I love doing. So here I am.
Tremendous. Ben?
And we love having you. My name is Ben, the attention-seeking geek. This is my first time actually on the show. So I've participated in the show over the last couple of months, but I've done all my stuff kind of off screen because I couldn't come on screen. Here I am, and I'm very nervous. You can't tell, but there's a twitch in my left eye.
I'm interested. Are you going to be wearing that visor throughout the entire show, Ben?
I feel sick already, so I don't give myself that long.
Luke, before we start, I just want to tell the audience that you have a bit of a sore throat today. So unfortunately, you'll not be able to talk quite as much as usual. But could you just introduce yourself in the channel?
Yeah, so praise to some people, I imagine. So I'm Luke from Hydra Collectibles, and it's not co-vid, so don't worry about that. It's just a regular throat infection. But I'm here because I want to do this. This has been one that I didn't really have to think too hard about to get my thoughts written down. So I'm really looking forward to this one tonight.
Tremendous. Well, welcome, gentlemen. Before we get into it, I would just also like to mention the last show we did, which was Spider-Man, which was a brilliant show. And James, you won that show, so
I did.
Your prize has arrived.
Let's see. That's awesome.
That's
this
amazing.
Will be winging its way to you. This is again done by the tremendous Chris Avery Stewart, who, as you know, every time we crown a winner, they get a commissioned cover of their character. So that will be coming your way soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, man.
X-Men. What do we know about X-Men? An awful lot, I would hope. So, as you know, there've been over the years an awful lot of X-Men characters. This show, we're looking at kind of the conception, the initial outing, as it were, of the X-Men. So just quickly as we go through, favorite X-Man of all time. We'll start with James.
Oh man, that's such a hard question.
I've never actually given it much thought. Probably, you kind of have to say Wolverine, wouldn't you? For most people would be the go-to, I think. But even at that, I think he's at this stage kind of almost disconnected from the team. You know, it's other than him, probably Cyclops is one I've always been a big fan of. Definitely, he was kind of underdone in the Fox movies, but he's supposed to be sort of a Captain America-esque character, and that's something in the comic books I always quite liked about him.
Yeah, I've kind of have to admit I've lost touch a little bit with the X-Men over recent years. I used to really like Cyclops, but didn't they kind of really change his personality post? Was it X-Men versus Avengers, and he went a bit mental?
Yeah, but that's when I fell in love with Cyclops, when he snapped.
Right.
He's absolutely fantastic. It's the X-Men Revolution era. Pick up Uncanny X-Men Revolution. Absolutely, he's phenomenal. And Cyclops' personality tweak is just fantastic.
So is he still like that, or is he back now?
The mood's changed because obviously Krakoa has happened, and in a way they're kind of at some kind of peace at the moment. Obviously things happen, but so he's kind of chilled out a little bit, but we'll see.
So Ben, I'm really nervous to ask because I know you have some bizarre takes on favorite X-Men.
You know what? That's like asking me my favorite child, and I only have one, and it's still a hard question. I'm gonna have to go for my boy,
Colossus.
Yes, indeed, Colossus. He, for me, represents everything that I could never be. He's soft, kind, generous, artistic, caring, loving. I could never be any of those things. But all of those things are quite sensitive, in nature, and that completely juxtaposes his exterior, impenetrable, rock hard kind of metal skin, giant exterior, Russian kind of background. So I just love how much of a interesting kind of character he is because of that. I'm going to have to go for my boy, Piotr Rasputin.
Tremendous. Luke?
So stepping aside from the main team that most people know, my favorite X-Men character is Darwin. There's a great moment with him and Hulk where he believes that he could go up against the Hulk because he's, he can adapt, he can, be the same as him. And literally his power just thinks to get him as far away from the Hulk as possible is the best chance of survival. So it teleports him like 2 or 3 miles in the opposite direction.
Love that.
Never. So is Darwin, was he introduced when they introduced the other Summers brother?
So
yeah, he's in First Class.
First Class, movie-wise, they done my boy Darwin dirty in that film because he is meant to be able to survive everything. If you're talking like Omega level, he should be up there.
Right. Interesting picks, gents. So, Rogues Gallery, all kinds of interesting characters in the X-Men Rogues Gallery. Going to ask you the same. We'll start with you, Luke, this time. Favorite villain?
So do you know what? First of all, I was going to go for Magneto, but when it comes to Marvel Legend toys, I love my Sauron figure, and I just saw Sauron in this thing here. He's the big pterodactyl man.
Yeah.
I love that character, and that figure is truly awesome. Probably the best action figure the Marvel Legends range has made.
There's a great moment in the comics with Sauron where someone says, like, Sauron, you could literally solve cancer with your incredible mind. And he's like, no, but I want to make dinosaurs. Brilliant.
Ben, favorite villain?
There are a lot of favorite villains when it comes to X-Men. I that's one of the things that draws me to the X-Men is actually the Rogues Gallery. But it's probably going to have to be my boy, Mortimer Toynbee, down there crouching at the front. Toad, is someone that
Nobody
I
likes
have
Toad,
a
surely.
strange affinity with. Hey, there's a fan base for everything. If you
And
look
you
hard
have
enough.
You have a. I mean, I would imagine most of us, our dream would have been meeting the great Stan Lee.
Yes.
And was it his birthday today? I think it was. Is it Stan's birthday?
It would have been 99 today.
Yeah. So our dream would have been meeting Stan Lee. I'm not sure many of you have dreamed of meeting him in a leotard, which you did, Ben, didn't you?
I did, yeah. To be honest, I don't think it was probably on Stan's list to come across a man wearing orange and purple spandex, but he did. And he drunk in that moment.
I'm sure he found it breathtaking. I'm sure.
Yeah.
James, favorite villain?
This is going to shock you, Peter. Mine is Toad as well.
Yes,
Genuinely. I mostly, I think, because of the Ray. I know this is a very different version, but the Ray Park performance in the original X-Men figure.
Yeah.
I just thought the design was really cool. I had that action figure, loved it. I think X-Men Evolution had quite a cool version.
Oh, what? Yeah, Todd Talansky in X-Men Evolution. Just again, it was like reinvigorated the character.
Yeah, so he's one who I don't know, I'm drawn to somewhat. Yeah. Yes. So it's funny you said that. Like nobody likes Toad.
I'm going to move straight on from that. I can't believe we've got two Toad lovers on the screen. That's an
Where my Toad lovers are.
Fuzzy Juggernaut. Yeah, I like a bit of Juggernaut as well.
Oh yeah, Juggy.
X-Men stories have been some absolutely. Hi, Sarah Lottie.
Who's your favourite character and villain, Peter?
Well, I do like Magneto, but I also love Apocalypse. I love that initial story. I love Executioner's Song, all that kind of jazz. So probably Apocalypse for me. Storylines. There've been some absolutely incredible storylines. Are there any that jump out and stick in people's minds? Luke, any that come to your mind?
Yeah, so for me, it's very recent actually. One of my favorite storylines has been the House of X and the Powers of 10 or whatever it was, that, you know, both hand in hand. I thought that as a standalone story of just those issues, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. It lost me as it carried on afterwards, but that, for what it was, I could read that over and over again. I really did enjoy that.
I've not picked up on them yet, but I will try and get to those at some point. James, just while Ben's doing his drawn part of the competition.
I'm just doing some prep. Guys.
Not quite how it works, Ben, but we'll let it pass.
I'm actually playing with my penis, so you can't come for me. All right.
James, favorite storyline?
I'd say probably Days of Future Past. That's always been one I remember when they announced the movie for that. I was so excited, and I love that. Just that, even probably one of my favorite covers you see here now, ever. Like, and I love every cover swipe I've seen of that. I love just brilliant at that. Yeah.
Brilliant storyline. Ben,
this kind of took place around the same time as the Uncanny X-Men Revolution and AVX and all that stuff, but it's the Jason Aaron Wolverine and the X-Men run. What it did is it actually stripped back the X-Men and gave us brand new characters, or gave some characters from the Grant Morrison New X-Men run the spotlight, and it just made you fall in love with them. And that's why I love that series.
For me, I mean, back in my heyday when I was reading comics a lot, it was all encompassing. It was the Age of Apocalypse storyline. Which is just absolutely amazing. And I know some of the guys on Instagram were talking about that recently, and that end scene with Magneto facing off against Apocalypse is just one that an image sticks with us. So, movies. And I know we're missing New Mutants on that list, but there's been quite an array of mutant or X-related films, some better than others. I think it's fair to say.
Very fair.
Again, I'm going to ask you to pick your favorite, and we'll start. Well, I'll tell you my favorite to start with. X2. I absolutely love X2.
Great
I
choice.
love the opening scene with Nightcrawler in the White House. I just think it's a phenomenal, and I think it's a crime that they didn't use that character and that actor more in future films. I think it was absolutely superb. James, favorite X movie?
Hands down, First Class. I think it's interesting because it is like a lesser known cast of characters, but I know it incorporated a lot of the X-Men Origins Magneto movie, and the scenes of that you can tell are from that in this. I thought were incredible. Like Magneto walking into the bar and sitting down. It's a very kind of similar to like Fassbender's and Glorious Bastard scenes. It's just tension. Like he throws the knife and pulls it back and stabs the guy in the hand. It's just my favorite sequence, I think, in any X-Men.
Magneto, James Bond.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Nazi hunter, Magneto. Yeah.
Tremendous. Ben, I'm imagining you're going to go Dark Phoenix.
No, Origins Wolverine. No, come on. I hate to duplicate, but I think I'm going to go with X-Men X2 as well. Again, I honestly think the Nightcrawler scene is one of my favorite films in superhero cinema history ever. I got my Colossus kind of cameo, which was very exciting for me. I just feel like it kind of plays out like a perfect superhero film of that time. You know, obviously we've come on a little bit since then, but I think it really kind of solidified, I think, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine as an icon of cinema, you know, as he is now. So, but yeah, I got mad love for Deadpool 2, again, because of Colossus. X-Men First Class with the Quicksilver moment. You know, that's probably a close second in terms of scenes.
First Class or Days of Future Past?
That's what I said. Days of Future Past. No, yeah, I got it wrong. I got it wrong, James. Okay, I got it wrong.
I was questioning myself.
It's on camera and it's on the internet and it's live, so I can't edit it out. Luke, what's yours?
Luke.
So yeah, this is the problem with going last, because again, I like X2. Again, it's all about Nightcrawler. I think that is such a cool character, and that first opening scene is superb.
Yeah. Totally agree, Luke. Totally. I have to say, out of all of those, probably the one that got the best critical reception was Logan, which, I mean, is a tremendous movie, but it would probably be, I think Fuzzy put up that it's in his top 3. I would probably put that up there somewhere as well. And
I struggle with Logan because it's not technically an X-Men film, is it? It's a Wolverine standalone with a couple of characters.
Yeah, you know that for me, it's criminal that film was not considered for, you know, in the Oscars of that year, because I honestly think it's a masterpiece.
And I think Patrick Stewart in it is absolutely phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah. So, last question on this before we move on to the big part of the show. Should we be sticking with some of these characters if they're being introduced into the Marvel Universe, or should we be recasting? What do you think?
I'm going to come in and say I don't want to see any of those characters. Maybe 1 or 2 at a push, but I want to see brand new characters kind of brought to life, and they're there. You know, they're there in the comics. There's so many compelling characters that you can still kind of bring in. But stay tuned for my version of the X-Men, because it might give an insight into
where your strange brain goes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. James, what do you think? I think they'll start fresh. Like Deadpool, carry over maybe some of his supporting cast. But I think even they're going to focus on some characters that maybe didn't get maybe not got bad interpretations, but weren't really that accurate. Yeah. Rogue, I think, is going to be a really big character. Probably Jubilee, Kitty Pryde. Yeah. They'll kind of take the focus. You know, Gambish will finally get as well. So, yeah.
Luke, what do you think?
I think it's all based on context. So if we're going to have these variants running around, then I don't mind seeing them if that's the case, as long as we do then get new versions moving forward once the multiverse is closed up.
Yeah. Okay, chaps, tremendous. So thank you very much. So we'll move on to the main show now. So as we know, the purpose of this show is to look at X-Men and to reinvent them. Now, normally we'll have a bigger panel. So as I've mentioned to some of you earlier, keep them all doing, Sarah, yeah. As I've mentioned to some of you earlier, just to try and even things out a little bit, I'm going to take part myself this time as well. So I have some ideas. For those of you that are in the chat and are watching, we have a link within the chat to a poll. So please don't vote yet, but at the end of the show, vote on who you think is tonight's winner.
James
So
already has his bots at work.
So we'll start off with the pitch.
I like that
Now-
jam, Peter.
It's not bad. Not bad. Luke, so you've got a chance to rest your voice for the next round. Shall we start off with you?
Okay. So mine is a concept. So mine's a way for, say, the MCU to bring the X-Men over, as opposed to, you know, a brand new story for it to be written in comic book form.
Okay.
So the biggest issue that Marvel currently has with bringing the X-Men into the MCU is their characters' ages and their backstories. And as an example of this, I want to talk about Magneto, because his history with the Nazis and the concentration camps pretty much means that he's going to be ancient if they try to keep that storyline going. So, you know, I just don't see that that's going to be something that they can do moving forward. So with that in mind, I say that we should be looking at what makes the X-Men the X-Men. And a key focus in this is a form of racism. You know, it's all to do with people being different. So I put it forward to everyone here watching now that we should actually scrap the whole idea of the Nazis and concentration camps, and instead we should bring this forward to the civil rights movement. And so give the original team of the X-Men a complete race swap and have that original team be of a different race. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, black people or anything like that. It could be anyone, but just make it so that they are so different to what they were in those original stories. And then moving forward, obviously, all the other mutants can come later on. But that would then give you, I don't know, what, 20 odd years on these characters again? Like, you could get them that much younger. So that's my pitch. That's what I'm going for. So that's where I'm going to draw the line at the moment, and we'll go into more details later.
Interesting. So keeping it very kind of topical and of the moment, I guess. So would these people have powers, Luke? Or are you going to come into that later on?
So they would, you know, it could technically be a whole new team, or it could be the same team with the same powers. The whole point of it is to bring them forward in time to allow the characters to remain youthful. You know, they're still going to be old, but you can then still have Magneto and Xavier, and it's relevant to history. It's relevant to something that has actually happened.
So we're Hamiltoning X-Men.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, but you guys forget that the Uncanny X-Men, whilst, like most of them are white or whatever, like the idea of that was an international team, you know.
Oh, yeah,
when the original
Professor X went around the world, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, by American Pie team were captured or whatever. Professor X went around the world, so I really like that idea, Luke. I've seen kind of people go down a similar direction on the internet and stuff, and great kind of like fan casting with Denzel
Don't say anything.
Washington.
Don't say anything. I might be saying it later.
Oh, okay. Was that you? Was that you on the internet?
Spoilers.
Sorry.
I have actually mentioned this in one of my previous videos on my channel where we did look at X-Men. I think it was in one of my Remembering Stan Lee videos that might have been last year or the year before. But yeah, this was something that was brought up. So I just kind of ran with that same idea for this topic.
I mean, the comments are buzzing with that, Luke, and I think a lot of people are making really good points that, you know, if we stick to the X-Men, like you say, I don't want to diminish the Holocaust in any way, shape, or form, but it is moved. Times have moved a little bit, so it's not as relevant. And how do you keep Magneto's backstory relevant? Do you know what I mean? In keeping with his age, I guess, in the comics. So really interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. James, shall we come to you next?
Alrighty. So my initial
you've got control of the slides, yes?
I do, yes. So my initial strategy for this show was I was going to go full Simon Cowell and just kind of tear down everybody else's idea, just based on the negative reception to my Spider-Man 89 trailer. But two things happened. Two things happened. So one, Jason didn't show up, and I just don't think it would be fun without him here. And secondly, Peter is taking part, and since I like being on this show, I'm not going to go insulting his ideas. So, yeah, Luke, like you said, kind of persecution is a big element of X-Men. So, the initial comic run is kind of inspired somewhat by civil rights movement. Hey, there he is, Jason. And, the Fox movies kind of made it kind of like being gay was almost the analogy of it. So I looked at different settings. I thought about another time where people were kind of being persecuted. So what I settled on is the Salem witch trials. So
okay.
My idea is, I'll take you through the story, but basically in 1666, Agatha Harkness is burned at the stake, but before she's burned, she places a curse on the state of Massachusetts that every firstborn is going to be a mutant. So this is how kind of mutants come into existence. So we fast forward to 1692, which is the year of the Salem witch trials, and to face the Scarlet Witch, we get the Hexmen.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
So that's all I'll tell you for now. We'll get to the rest later. So
he was right to be cocky, really, wasn't he? Like James, that's quite a good one, James.
I like that. Ben's making notes. I like that as well.
He's not. He's still drawing his picture.
I do like that. I like the idea of the Hexmen. I like that you've linked it to witches. So interesting stuff. Any comments, guys?
Yeah, I really like that.
I'll go home now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing. Damn it, I've got nothing bad to say.
Right, Ben, you're going to have to blow out the water with yours, mate. Now, despite Ben being here, he has also filmed a video. So do you want us to just play that straight away, Ben, or is there a lead into it?
No. It's longer than Luke and James's pitch, but
mine's about 3 hours, so it's fine.
Nice. I hope you enjoy my version of the X-Men. Mutation. It is the key to our evolution. And that's why my version of the X-Men will put a focus on that word. No X-Men will feature in my story. Just simply the mutants. I'm going to bring forward the original 60s Marvel timeline, and instead of it being 1962, it's 2022. And Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm are the latest 4 to fly with SpaceX. But now the commercial space race is getting competitive, and SpaceX are pushing the limits of space tourism. So the 4 flew out deeper than any previous shuttle has gone before. At the peak of the journey, though, something goes horribly wrong. Cosmic rays come out of absolutely nowhere, and they engulf the shuttle as they do with the classic tail. But this time, those cosmic rays stretch out further than before, and this time, those cosmic rays engulf Earth too. 3 of our astronauts sadly perish upon impact of the rays. Reed's body becomes like liquid. His anatomy goes from stretching to melting until he's essentially left there in a puddle of blood and guts on the floor. Johnny's skin sets alight, and yet behind the skin, nothing. So, just burnt bones. Sue fades away, but not invisible, just simply becoming one with air. Ben Grimm is the sole survivor, and he gets covered in these bright orange rocks. However, for Ben, the reaction was external and internal. His mutation, whilst monstrous, is essentially managed by his body. A horrified and confused Ben returns to Earth to a shocking discovery. Exactly half of the world's population were also affected by the cosmic rays. In the same horrific way, it appears that there was an intrinsic link as well between people's personality traits and what type of mutation they got. Now, 50% of the human race suddenly mutated on that day. Tragically, most of those humans, much like 3 of our 4 space explorers, did not survive the process. From Earth-like roots shooting out of the body, but through the main arteries, to growth of muscle to the point where the arms burst and explode. Men who can suddenly breathe underwater, but not on land, so suffocate. To women who freeze to death with their new snow-like abilities. Even people who didn't mutate were caught up in the mutations of those who couldn't survive. Laser beams come into action while somebody nurses their elderly father. Razor-sharp fingernails suddenly occur as someone's changing the child. It's got dark. The world is in turmoil. 50% of the human race is left, but with thousands of avoidable deaths. The other half have all but perished to these strange effects of the cosmic rays. The few mutants left are the only ones who can protect the unaffected humans from the evils of this world. These mutants aren't exactly your poster children of the atom, though. The lineup: there's Beak, Toad, Blob, Marrow, Maggot, Glob, Herman, No Girl, Eyeboy, and the new leader of the mutants, Ben Grimm, the Thing. That was intense, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
That was a
Great music choice, man.
You did go dark. I love the story up until Beak. I mean, I know you're a Beak fan. Yes, that was tremendous, Ben. Tremendous. I really like that. Very dark. Very. Let's see what some of the comments are on that one, guys. What did you think?
It was interesting. So the Fantastic Four are just gone, and they're mutants too. So yeah, it's I need to get my head around his choice of team.
But the idea behind that, it wasn't just because they're my favorite characters, because they are, but it's that all these mutations. I kind of wanted it to be like a horror kind of take on the genre as well. All the mutations are hideous in nature, and most people don't survive, and the only ones that survived, the kind of really kind of ugly mutants that's just survived the process, but someone looks like a bird, and someone has bones coming out of them and stuff like that. So that was the idea behind the team.
I like the horror element, and that'll come into mind in a little bit as well. But I thought the imagery of the mutations happening with people kind of, happening at home. And what did you say? The elderly person getting laser beams through their eyes, or razor blades killing a baby?
Yeah, maybe went overboard on the horror.
I don't think so. It's
Merry Christmas, everyone.
This audience doesn't like horror. This audience doesn't like horror, because if not, I would have won the Spider-Man.
Yeah. You were up against Christian Slater, but
there's no stopping the Slate train, baby.
I thought that was absolutely tremendous, Ben. Really, really interesting take. Comments, we've got loads of comments flying in. Very good. Blob for the win.
My boy Fred Dukes.
Excellent. Right then, chaps. So mine's a little bit long as well. I have to say I've kind of gone off past shows and gone a little bit mental. So I've watched what you've all done, and I've kind of turned it into my own version. So let me tell you a little story about the X-Men. So our story starts with Officer Alex Murphy, who's a family man and a career cop who works undercover for the LAPD. And unfortunately, during one of these undercover sessions, he's busted by none other than Frank Castle, the Punisher. Frank storms the building, and a stray bullet hits a gas line, destroying everybody within the building. it's at this point that Frank's corpse is taken to an experimental lab at Stark Industries, and none other than Tony Stark begins to work on him, embedding him with an experimental arc reactor and transforming him beyond all recognition. And can I just say, I painted that myself, right? So I mean, just look at the detailed work on that arm.
Oh, I see it.
That is unrecognizable.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, the arc reactor, as mentioned, is experimental. And as Frank's family are visiting him to meet his new self, there's an error with the technology, and it unfortunately explodes, killing everybody inside, Frank included, and of course, his family and Tony Stark. He moves on, and I don't know how he gets this, but he finds a house, basically. Let's not go into much detail. He finds a house, and he starts to hide in this secluded hideaway. And it's not long before people are starting to be attracted to him, known of the metal man that lives in the mansion. And he begins to assemble people like himself, people who have been deformed or changed, people who've been mutated beyond all recognition and are in fact X-Men. The first person that approaches him is none other than Seth Brundle. Brundle is an extreme genius who works at MIT with none other than Reed Richards, his best friend. Reed and Seth have been working on an experimental teleportation device, which unfortunately goes wrong, and he becomes the Fly. What are you laughing at? The
So
Fly
random.
from what?
So random. I'm loving it. Please.
Wait for it. It gets more random. So he joins Officer Murphy at the mansion. Whilst holidaying in a stately home, this young man unfortunately comes across a group of evil witches led by none other than Agatha Harkness. Agatha sees the child and curses him, transforming him into a giant rat, and he becomes the Rat Boy. Oh, we're getting weird enough now, because it just brace yourselves for the next few characters. Now, this fat shit is Augustus King Remulus. Now, I'm hoping some of you on the screen will recognize King Remulus, at least by name, because I've done my research, I have to say. King Remulus is an obese swine of a king, and he loves nothing more than to eat and drink. And unfortunately, this has a devastating impact on his health and his heart. And he has multiple heart attacks, but this doesn't stop him. He's a man after my own heart. He continues to feast and gorge to the point where his fragile frame cannot take any more. It's at this point that Mephisto approaches him and offers him a deal. If you give me the souls of all in your kingdom, I will allow you to feast forever. He jumps at the chance, and the Slimer is born. What? So don't pull your faces. King Remulus actually was Slimer. I don't know if you knew that. Anyway, another fat lad, Augustus Gloop, was also a terribly fat lad who loves nothing more than chocolate. And he's enticed to attend a chocolate factory by none other than Arcade. Arcade tortures the child, injecting him and forcing him to eat as much chocolate as he possibly can. But it has a devastating effect on him, transforming him into the Gloop, a being comprised of pure chocolatey goodness. Now, hold on to your pants. Morton Harkett is a premier member of the band Aha, a band that has gone from strength to strength and is now one of the leading bands in the UK and worldwide. So much so that they in fact tour with another band of the day, the amazing Spinal Tap. Whilst preparing for a concert, one of the members of Spinal Tap approach Morton and say, "Here, mate, have you ever hooked up to one of these devices? The Magic Amp. This takes your voice to 11. Morton, excited by the prospect, plugs himself into the amp, and devastation. His voice is so powerful that he obliterates everything within a 50-mile radius. It also fractures reality, making him the Grey Man. So this group of creatures, these humans who've been transformed, who've become less than men, have now become the X-Men. Boom! Huh?
Wow.
Winner.
This man has a family, people. He should be sectioned. Oh my gosh.
I tell you where it's going, Sarah. It's going straight to first place. That's where that's going.
It's going to get optioned. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
What did you think of that, then, gentlemen?
Oh my gosh! Wow. If they need someone to play Augustus Gloop, this guy.
I mean, I love an old crossover, so I'm digging. I'd watch this movie definitely.
It's because of you that he done all the crossovers.
Right, chaps. So let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
So moving on to the next stage. Let me just get it. Right, gentlemen. So this is the part of the game where we are challenged to draw something, which is going to be interesting. Just relax, it'll be fine. We'll have 2 minutes on the clock. When the 2 minutes are up, you will hear the end of
Galactus.
So that will be the end of your round. Now, because James won the last show, we're going to let him choose this time what we're going to draw. So, James, it can be first cover, favourite character. It can be whatever you want. Hopefully, whatever Ben's not already drawn on his bit of paper.
Look, I'll be honest. I'll be up front. Okay, I've just done the trade dress. So don't, when you're judging, guys, don't take this into consideration. It's just for my own happiness. Sorry.
We'll go first issue. First cover.
First issue.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm going to be drawn as well. So, I'm going to try and keep we're chatting as we go. And we'll marks, get set, off we go. So, guys, as we're drawn, we'll start with you, Luke. Do you want to just tell a little bit about what's happening in your series, in your channel over the next few weeks?
Yeah, I'll try. So on my channel, I'm going to be bringing a whole new range of shows. We actually started a little bit earlier. We actually went for December rather than January for our New Year's resolutions. And we're going to do some more comic book themed shows on the channel because, you know, the algorithm basically pointed me in that direction and said that I needed to do it. So, yeah, we're going to do some Oars with Flaws videos. We're going to do some Making Sense of Pence. We're doing some retro reads. And we are probably... What's the other one we're doing? There's a fourth one. I don't remember. But it's all change. It's all go. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to look at the data and move forward with what the audience wants to see.
So lots coming out.
Lots planned, nothing made.
Yeah. Ben, you've had 2 videos out this week, haven't you? Do you want to just tell the gang about what you've had?
Yeah, I can't believe you're asking us to do this when we're under pressure already.
It's a hard life.
Bastard. Okay, yes. There's 2 unboxing videos. Hasbro's Mini Puffs unboxing video and a old Hot Toys Hellboy unboxing video as well. And then tomorrow I will be dropping a kind of like an MCU speculation madman ramblings video where I basically put my thoughts out there into the ether as to where the kind of MCU is going to go from here. So that'll be going live tomorrow. So yeah,
tremendous.
Galactus.
It's
Hands
not been
down,
2 minutes,
chaps.
has it? I didn't even.
That was your 2 minutes.
All I
Hands
did-
down. I had to
come
talk
on.
through most of that.
Yeah, exactly. And James hasn't plugged his stuff yet.
That's a very good
30
point.
seconds whilst James talks. James, what's happening with you?
So I have a video on New Year's Day. It's a roundup. This is really hard to talk while you're drunk. It's a roundup of all the PS5 exclusives that we've had out during the year, and kind of looking forward to what's coming out in the next year.
Tremendous.
So that's what I have.
Right, gentlemen, pens down. You've had more than enough time to do a masterpiece. James, we'll start with you, mate.
Well, you always
Sure.
start with me, Peter. I don't know if
It's
that's
just because I like you more than the others. That's why. Right. Show us
I'll
what
be
you've
honest.
got, James.
Son of a bitch. When the 2 minutes were up, right, this was literally. Can you see it? That's what I had. Just the name.
X-Men, yes.
As you
Good.
can see, I got a bit cocky with the size of the H because I had to squeeze the N in there. But so I was doing Agatha being burnt in flames and screaming.
I'm sorry, you're doing what?
Agatha.
All right.
On the stake. Right, there you go. There's a stake. She's tied to the stake.
Is that spider thing Agatha, is it?
So that's supposed to be her hair because it's all wavy.
Oh, it's a hair. Got you.
Casting a spell.
Very good.
Do the face, and there's the flames. And Luke, put your goddamn pen down. This isn't fair.
Luke, we're coming to you next.
Pen's had the longest to do his.
Show us what you did.
Okay.
Now, you're a good artist. Oh, you see. Very good.
Awesome.
I went
that's
for
tremendous.
less detail and more silhouette. But
Ben, we can hear your pen.
No, it's not. It's my baby's crying. That's how she cried. It's weird.
Luke,
We need to see a
that's
doctor.
I've always liked the saying mutant and proud, so I wanted to put that in there as opposed to just X-Men.
I have to say, Luke, I know we've mentioned it before, but you really are a very talented artist. So that's brilliant.
Seriously good, yeah.
Ben, I mean, you've had roughly an hour and a half more than everybody else, but never mind. Let's see what you've got.
It's
Oh, look at that.
he's crying because his friends are dead.
I mean, that's phenomenal.
I'm worried about the drawing section. I don't know if it's going to be any good. Yeah.
Mate, he looks like a potato. Are you kidding?
So obviously, I mean, I just want to say, I was obviously comparing and trying to talk and engage. So my drawing was probably not as good as everybody else's because I was distracted. Do you know what I mean?
That's very phallic.
What do you mean fat? That's
Well, is that a helmet or a bell end? It's hard to tell.
could be both. Could be both.
Love it.
Right. Excellent. Well done, gentlemen. Have we got anybody watching? We've got a few people watching still. Right. So let's move rapidly on. I think the artwork, as usual, gentlemen, was tremendous. We'll probably need to give more time to the artwork, don't we? For the next show, we'll do a bit more time, I think.
5 minutes.
5 minutes? 5 minutes. Right then, chaps. So, the hook. So this is the bit where you talk about your killer story or the storyline that kind of you think will be one of the bigger storylines of your comic series. Luke, you started first the last time, so should we come back to you, mate?
Yeah. So my idea, my concept, obviously means that the entire cast needs to be changed rather drastically, say the least. So I would focus my hook, as it were, on an actor who really should be in the MCU and kind of deserves to be in a powerful position. So I'm going to go straight in with Magneto, and I'm going to say, I'm not going to butcher the actor's name, but I'm going to say who everyone knows him to be. The actor who played Gus Fring on Breaking Bad.
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito.
Bring him over and put him in that position as Magneto in this concept that I'm giving you about the civil rights movement and everything else, and he will absolutely kill that role.
Fantastic choice, yeah.
That's pretty much what my hook is. Now, I know that a lot of these diehard fanboys of the X-Men don't like change, so I know that's going to be a hard sell. But if any actor can do this role justice, it's going to be that man.
It's only a hard sell
I've seen him in
to racists. not fans.
Yeah, if you don't vote for me, you're a
rednecks.
racist.
Yeah.
No. I feel bad for saying that.
Tremendous, interesting stuff. James, shall we go to you?
Yeah. So a couple of little. I got ahead of myself a little bit in the first segment and told more than I was intended to. But a couple of little tidbits about my story. So James Howlett was at this burning of Agatha Harkness.
Nice.
He was discovered very quickly after that and spent 20 years burnt at the stake continuously. So that's just a little backstory on Wolverine. So literally down, and that's what causes his memory loss. Like literally, his brain is burnt away and regrows.
Fried.
Nice.
Yeah, fried. So that's the Wolverine thing. So yeah, it culminates with kind of a massive battle with Scarlet Witch is the leader of the Brotherhood of Mutants, and then you have the Hexmen. So it ends with a battle, and we get kind of a sort of an homage to the House of M storyline. So instead of no more mutants, everybody becomes a mutant, and everybody's getting burned. Boom.
You get a mutant. You get a mutant. You get a mutant.
You all get a mutant. Yeah.
Excellent. So again, slightly dark. We've gone slightly dark, but interesting stuff. Ben, do you want me to just play your video?
Yeah, afraid to say, guys, there's another video. Brace yourselves.
Our ragtag team of mutants continue to help where they can, despite the modern day pitchforks and torches response from the rest of the world, who they are simply trying to protect. Along the way, they face many adversaries, government enforcement, publicly funded hate groups, to name but a few, but the next threat is one they were not expecting. There is one mutant our group was not prepared to contend with. When the cosmic rays hit Earth, one Bruce Banner, who, filled with bottled up hate and anger, turned into a giant green Hulk. Banner watched as his love Betty, whose delicate and caring nature manifested from the rays too into a flower-like mutation. However, the bud was her head, and as she bloomed, layers of her flesh turned outwards, and of course, she did not survive the process. Banner now believes that his indestructible body and his incredible mind must help rid the world of what he considers a virus, mutants. How many times did I say mutants in this episode? One more for luck. Mutants.
Tremendous. Very, very good.
So is this like a Professor Hulk character then? He has his own mind.
Yeah, he has his own mind. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So mine's about 100 slides long. But never mind. We'll power through it. So, as mentioned there, the X-Men. Everything goes well for a little while. Some of the mutants make improvements to their lives. So Brundlefly manages to change his appearance a little bit. The chocolate guy, because I can't remember his name, dries off a little bit and goes a bit crunchy. The mouse, because of his experiences with the witches, trains and becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. And again, can I just tell you, I painted that cape and cloak and gloves and shit on. I mean, that's the level of detail.
I want that mouse as my wallpaper.
And can I just say, look at his tash. I did an additional little Doctor Strange tash.
Very stylish.
On there.
Why would a mouse that already has hair grow a tash?
Well, why wouldn't he grow a tash? He's the Sorcerer Supreme, Ben. He can grow what he wants. You know what I mean? So everything's going tickety-boo. And then, unfortunately, a dark day comes and we have the Acts of Vengeance. So, first issue we have is where Grey Man finds that he can no longer attach himself to normal realities. Everything's become fractured and there's multiple universes. He doesn't know who's doing this to him. Unbeknownst to him, it's the Watcher who's taken great offense at his ability to traverse through realities and has decided to put a halt to it. Slimer, unfortunately, is under attack and finds himself encased in a trap caught by this guy, who I can't remember his name, but I'm sure Luke or Ben will tell us.
Vigo the Carpathian.
That's the fella, Vigo the Carpathian, who's just leaning on the building there, quite like that.
Go back. Go back.
What? He's just chilling. He's relaxing.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? Augustus is traced back to a chocolate factory by some weirdo in a Britney Spears outfit who that's right, Grey Man, it was you, mate. I've trademarked it. Who, unbeknownst to Augustus, is working for mad chocolatier Heston Blumenthal, who's been commissioned by the BBC to create a Christmas special involving the largest hot chocolate known to man. And he's got his sights set on Augustus as his main ingredient. I put the little head in there as well. Ben, you're not looking. I put my little head in there.
I can't bring myself to look anymore, Peter.
Murat awakens to find himself under siege, attacked by the greatest hunter known to man, the man who's hunted every beast in reality. Anybody know who it is? It's Safari Joe of the Thundercats. Eh? Safari Joe does it again. No, never mind. Brundle flies, enticed back by Reed into the transporter. Reed tells him that he can now fix him and transform him back to a human form. As Brundle gets into the machine, he asks how Sue's doing. He's dead, you dickhead, he shouts. Reed tried to use the machine to transport the original members of the Fantastic Four, and unfortunately, it all went a bit astray, and he unfortunately killed the lot of them. He's been sent mad with grief and flicks the switch once again, transforming Brundlefly once again into a monster beyond belief. I've forgotten his name. Oh yeah, Alec Murphy is the only man who can save them. He enters the fray ready to attack, but unfortunately finds himself infected with the techno-organic virus known as Warlock. Who could have done this to him? Well, it's Tony Stark wanting to take back his arc reactor. He's rebuilt himself a new body, and he will get the arc reactor back. So, who's done this? Which masterminds are behind this assault on our X-Men? The President of the United States. Donald Trump has decided he wants to exterminate all creatures that are evil. Anything he sees is not human. He's egged on by his friend, William Stryker, who tells him that all of these things are an abomination. Together, they assemble a crack team, each with specialist areas of expertise. Magician Paul Daniels, who wants to claim the title of Sorcerer Supreme for himself. Egon Spengler, who's out to rid the world of everything evil and all ghosts. Emperor Gates, technology master, who wants to reclaim the Stark technology for himself. Simon Cowell, who vows to never allow Aha to get another number one, if he even got one in the first place. And again, the greatest hunter known to man, the Tiger King himself. This team form the Brotherhood of Evil Humans. But just as things look bleak, perhaps there is some hope within the ranks of the evil humans. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, that? 4 days. 4 days.
Well
that
spent.
took me.
Well spent. My gosh. You're a strange man.
There's not many people can sneak Paul Daniels in there. Eh?
Oh
Yeah?
my god.
Why Simon Cowell?
I'm quite upset about the Spengler thing, to be honest. I don't know whether I'll ever forgive you for that. But...
Working again. I saved it at the end there, Ben.
Okay. Brought back, yeah.
Okie dokie, ladies and gents. We're about to move on to the kind of the summing up section. What I'm going to do in the comments, I'm going to paste the link for the what do you call it? The quiz, not the quiz, man.
The poll.
The poll.
The poll. Yeah, the poll. So if you haven't done it at the top of the page, please click on this link and you'll be able to vote for who you think has won this round. This episode. So as you're doing that, we'll move around the screen. I'll start off and just say you should vote for mine because it was mint and it had Paul Daniels in it. I mean, and the rat is the Sorcerer Supreme. You cannot get much better than that. James, why should you win this show again?
I mean, just think of the potential that's going forward. I mean, you get the Hex Force, Hex Factor down the road, Hex Girls, So I mean, the potential it's incredible, you know. But also, like, this might be the most important thing. Just imagine the look on Luke's face if I fucking win this thing again. He's going to be fucking fuming, and it will be glorious.
I mean,
I won't be that upset.
So please,
right then, Luke.
I mean, just the fan casting alone, you know, to see this actor, you know, Gus Fring in the MCU, you know, one of the best villains ever put to television. If he can even just capture a small essence of that and put it into Magneto, we're in for a good time.
Very true. Very true. Benjamin.
Look, you know, Luke's it has been plucked straight from the internet where 100 people have come up with that casting already. James hits a wall eventually because it's set so far in the past that, you know, eventually all those characters are going to die off, so we're not going to see them in the modern age. And Peter needs help, guys, and that's evident. So vote for mine as the only sane answer that you can, you know, select tonight.
Okie dokie, chaps.
that's a bit mean.
I went. Sorry, I went mean. I went.
There, I thought.
Well, I just thought, you know, I don't want to repeat myself, so I'll come for them. Come for blood.
Okay, guys. So I can tell you we have a clear winner. I'm just looking at the Google form. I'm not going to share. I don't know how to share it. So what I can tell you is that somebody has won by 71%.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a landslide.
How many votes though? 3?
No, there have been 15 votes.
Whoa.
We have 15 people
Hello.
watching.
How dare you? How dare you take his name off the ballot? Yeah, so hang on. The votes are changing as we speak. I'm going to call it now. No. I'll give people one more minute just in case anybody wants to change their vote. You can change your vote. So if you want to go back on and vote, I'll give you 2 more minutes. No, 1 more minute because I'll give you 2 more. A couple of minutes. Whilst we're doing that, I just want to thank you all, guys. Really enjoyed, as usual, your company. It's been tremendous. Whilst people are doing their final votes, we'll go to the comments. Please let us know what you want us to do What If on next. So if you're still watching, put an idea in the comments. We'll do anything, as is evident tonight. We'll do comic books, cartoons, TV series, anything you like. So please start popping in the comments once you've voted what you would like to see the team do. Guys, if you had your pick and we're going to do a show next, what would you want to do next? So Luke, we'll start with you. What would you like to do What If on?
I would like to do Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right. Interesting. I'm writing these down for future ideas. Turtles, good. James?
I'd love to get Punisher a crack.
Oh yeah.
Punisher.
Punisher make a good one. Because it's somebody killing people for a reason. I think there's some interesting stuff you could do for that.
Wait, you need a reason?
Maybe no reason. Who knows?
Grey Man, Fantastic Four. I like that.
They featured twice tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say.
And they died both times.
We do like to wipe out the FF, don't we?
Yeah, I hate them.
Toy Story, interesting.
We're only talking about maybe doing movies down the road, so it's
Venom.
I think because we've done Superman as well, I feel like Batman has to be done at some point. Like it's the natural course.
Yeah.
Sarah saying Wanda, so Scarlet Witch. I think she would maybe be part of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. Okay, lots of interesting ideas there, guys. We'll have a bit of a think and we'll come back to you. I'm going to call it now in terms of the poll. I'm going to go to the poll and have a look. We've had 23 votes.
Oh, wow.
Which is tremendous.
Thanks, everyone.
We have a clear winner at 61%. So I'm very pleased. This is going to cause ructions. I'm very pleased, Luke, to announce you as tonight's winner. So well done.
I'm not happy with that.
Well done, man.
I'm not happy with it.
I think that's tremendous.
Thank you, guys. Anything to take that smug look off of James's face. You
I
can
am
send
welding
that-
with
you
humble.
can send that
Just
quote
taking
in
the
post
smug
to me,
look off
James.
his face.
Yeah,
You put the smug look on his face.
There you go.
Sorry, what did you say, Luke? I thought you said something as we were talking there. Sorry.
You were saying something about the smug look on my face. How many times have you won, Luke?
Just one.
Just
Just
one.
the one.
Just one.
But it's the
Just
most
the
it's the
one.
most recent, so it's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Not really, those numbers, isn't it?
I'm going to kick off.
Guys, get on the internet more. Oh.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate you watching. Please, One Division, yeah. So please like and subscribe to my colleagues on screen here. They all have fantastic channels, and I'm sure I would appreciate your votes. So thank you very much, everybody. I voted 5 times. Shock and fuzzy. Shock and gutted, mate. I'm gutted. Never mind. The rat will return in a future what if. Actually, I could do that with Fantastic Four, couldn't I? A rat trapped on the spaceship. That'll work. Anyway, so guys, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Luke, congratulations. You win the cover by Chris Avery Stewart. So I'll get that sorted and sent out to you.
I think it was the sympathy vote.
Okay, guys. With that, we'll call it. So thank you very much, everybody, and please say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.